Very pleased that to be joined here at SB Nation by the one and only, the dashing debonair, internationally famous. You know him, you love him from the world of professional golf. And as of this weekend, the big screen, in a literal sense, I suppose, it is Collin Morikawa. Collin, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you. That was a long intro, but I'll take it.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing, I've been told. So thanks for tugging at my insecurities. Speaking of, we got to start with the super obvious thing. I know you don't want to talk about it, but the Dodgers, what's going on, man?
We'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Everyone has their little ups and downs. And, maybe I'm kind of on the same train as what the Dodgers are going through, right? Past month, just not exactly what we need, but we're going to be strong. October's still a few months away. So we're going to be all right. You just kind of work through a little kinks and you just kind of find that rhythm back. It's all about rhythm, and those guys are going to get it back. I'm not too worried.
I wouldn't tell most people, but I will tell you so that I can tell people. I told this to Collin Morikawa. I'm a Houston Astros fan, so this is super awesome for me. Just I don't know that we got off to the best foot with the long introduction, but did I worsen it? That was what I wanted to do here.
For sure, I'm going to be very guarded as we talk now. Very guarded.
It's funny you say that because, well, that's kind of been your rap, I guess, this season. I've never thought that, dating back to obviously your emergence in the world of professional golf. I've always thought you were very frontal and opening. You do a lot of interviews, you do a lot of podcasts, you do a lot of non-traditional media. I think that correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of just speaks to you. I don't say cultivating a brand. I hate to be super corporate about it, but just wanting to capitalize on the life you get to live.
Yeah, look, I live a very lucky life. I get to do what I love, which is play golf and entertain essentially as many people as we can. And this year, obviously, with the stuff that's gone on, it's kind of been a different my brand gone down. People assume. But that's not me. Look, it's happened one time and I've had to protect myself. I think at the end of the day, people need to speak up for themselves. As athletes and as celebrities, we get put in a stage where, you don't get to really say much other than what you're seeing. And on the golf course, we're very stoic. We're very focused. We're competing very, very hard. So when we do have a platform, you do have to speak up sometimes. And sometimes it's not for the positive, it's for the negative. And, that's what it is, right? But we're going to try and put that aside as much as we can and go back to enjoying and playing golf as best as we can.
I think that's well said. I think that's the correct disposition to have. I'm excited to get to the movie, but you seem very grounded for somebody who's very young. I imagine that that's sort of necessary when you do what you do. You had a post this past weekend as the Open Championship was kind of winding down, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but just kind of talked about the need for perspective, talked about, hey, look, this one didn't go my way. And I love that you said it can feel really isolating out there. And you had these, I don't know if there was some symbolism, but you had these photos where you looked isolated. I mean, obviously the background kind of lends to that. But noted that you have a family and a team to kind of support you. Golf can be that way, even for the best players in the world. I'm just curious where that comes from. I don't, you mentioned kind of an up and down season. Maybe times it feels farther away, but how you can stay grounded with the people most important to you, even in times that aren't exactly what you want them to be.
It's such a weird sport because when we're playing really well, when we're succeeding in what we do, winning tournaments or playing well, I'm the only one that gets the recognition, essentially, right? And when we're playing bad, I'm the one that takes all of it. And I know it comes down to me. But what people don't see is the team behind me, especially in these times when, maybe it's a few weeks or a month of golf that just haven't gone my way. Where the team is, that's when they're really working. That's when they're putting all their minds together. That's when they're really supporting me. And it doesn't mean by being extra, right? It just means them being there when, they've always said they would. And that's true friends. That's true family. That's true teamwork, essentially. And that's what I can ask for. And I know I have such a great team behind me, not just from my sponsors and family, but from my friends. They're always there. And for me, just to put that out, it wasn't meant because I needed, more words of encouragement. It was just to tell people look, it is a crazy, lonely world out there sometimes. And sometimes you do have to lean on other people. And that's where I'm at. And there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of help.
Yeah. My wife is a social worker, so I'm well-versed in vulnerability and things like that. So I think that that's really really strong, and really well done by you. And again, some real edge of the earth photos. So well done in that respect.
Those were definitely like me by myself. Those were thought through.
I don't know if it's helpful or not, but relative to this specific experience, you get to pack up and head on over to live the Hollywood lifestyle, the New York lifestyle. You were at the Happy Gilmore 2 premiere. We're chatting on Tuesday. On Monday night, obviously, all these photos and stuff floating around on social media. It's got to be cool. It's got to. You mentioned living an amazing life. It's got to be cool to just, let's just at the Open Championship. Now I'm hanging out on the red carpet with Adam Sandler. It's a real pinch me sort of thing for you, I bet.
It makes a couple missed cuts feel a little bit better. It's pretty surreal, honestly, to be in the film of Happy Gilmore 2, and you want to make memories in life, and that's
a great way to put it.
Is we do so many things in golf where it's very repetitive, and at the end of the day, we do want to make memories. And then Scotty kind of touched upon that sometimes those memories of golf fade away very quickly, but these are memories of a lifetime that I'll never forget, from being on set with was there, and Bad Bunny, Benito was there, and there's 12 of us other golfers. Like we're all hanging out, making memories. Those are the things you can never trade and replace. And I'm very, very appreciative of being a small part, essentially, in this.
The negative way to say that is that everything on the internet is forever. That like nothing can be deleted from the internet. You know what I mean? Like that's typically said about a negative thing.
Like
well, again, I would put a positive connotation on it, just for vibes and whatnot. But that being said, your commercial will be on the internet forever. So you doing these, you know what I mean? Like when you're like 60 years old, it will still be cool. Don't get me wrong. But like, you might feel like I can't necessarily, ride my golf club, or I wouldn't do that at that age. That had to be a lot of fun.
I don't know if I would do it. I don't know if I would do it really ever. Right. Like that. I think that shows to the whole Happy Madison production. Like they got me comfortable in that setting. US Bank. I mean, look, I'm sponsored by US Bank and I'm ambassador of them. When you think of US Bank, you don't think of that fun, childlike side. Right. But for them to bridge that gap, and I think that's what this movie's going to do, is it bridges just a lot of generations of golf viewers, movie viewers, watchers, to just have fun. Right. Bring a little comedy into your life, smile, enjoy it. And unfortunately, that will be on the internet for the rest of my life, and a lot of my friends have access to that, and I am hearing the full brunt of it.
But you know what? It's totally like you wouldn't trade lives. You know what I mean? Like that's ultimately what it comes down to. In the commercial, you very Happy Gilmore-ish. Obviously, US Bank did an amazing job, does an amazing job all the time. You have one of the big cartoony physical checks. That's obviously I haven't seen the second movie yet. No spoilers from Collin Morikawa, but in the first film, that's a big thing. As a professional golfer, there's got to be something that you like rack up that gets annoying like that. Like I don't know if it's like, travel bags. Like you probably got like 4 million string bags or something. Like what is that thing that you just pick up at every tournament that you're like, look, I'm really grateful for this, but enough is enough.
I think everyone's gonna be jealous. I mean, golf clubs, just period. I mean, we have
Colin. That really sucks for us. Yeah,
that's what I mean. I know that's exactly the response I was waiting to hear, and that's what everyone's gonna say when they listen to it. It's with the amount of golf clubs we have, right? We have access to so many golf clubs that you just forget that you have certain clubs. You forget where you got them. Just part of what we do, though. Very lucky.
Relative to filming everything, whether it was the commercial or the movie, you all are highly, highly skilled at something that everybody wants to be better at. And so I've heard other professional golfers talk about that. Like, man, it's really weird when like Denzel Washington or whatever is like asking me for advice. Like, what is that process like? Because you're in awe of somebody. I don't know if you've had an interaction with a Dodger or something. Maybe that would be a good example. But what is that like when you're like, hold up, like you have a question about me helping you? It's got to be a weird moment.
Yeah, I've played a lot of golf with Dexter Fowler, who used to play for the Cubs, Shane Victorino, who played for the Phillies. It's just amazing because their minds work so much because they want to be so good at it, right?
Right.
And I think I'm loving this quote is golf makes an athletic person look not athletic. I think the example is LeBron James, right? He is one of the most athletic people on this planet that we've ever seen, through generations. And you see, but he's not going to be hitting under 80 in a month or even a year, right? And I think golf just it brings you back, because when you hit that one good shot, you're like, man,
Right.
how do I do that again? And then you realize, oh, I can't do it. And that's what's great about golf. And I think that's what people are really learning about golf, is that it takes a lot of passion, it takes a lot of time and effort, but you can also have fun with it. And you just have to have that addictive personality. And I think a lot of people do. And when they find that about golf, it's, man, you go down these rabbit holes.
You said that's what people are really learning about golf. There's obviously been a significant boom for golf over the last, call it what you want, the COVID era, whatever. Your placement in golf lore happened at like the perfect time, I would offer. I also cover the Dallas Cowboys as an example. And I always say that, like, if they'd had their success in any other decade, they're not the team that we know them to be now, right? Like, there's something to like it happening in the 90s with this economic boom, like all these circumstances around them. And obviously your success is because of your game and how hard you've worked, but you landed in the middle of the golf world at this boom. And again, things like this movie happening, whatever, like, how much do you consider that just the coincidence of life working out in Collin Morikawa's favor?
Yeah, I mean, you can't plan timing, right? You
Right.
can't plan it to be, this is when I'm going to do something. But you can be very appreciative of it, right? And you can really put that into perspective. And I definitely do. Like I said, you're trying to make memories, and when you're able to be a small part in a big piece of history, right? It's very, very lucky, and you appreciate that, and you realize, man, I do live a pretty good life, and how do I make that enjoyable, not just for myself and the people around me, but for everyone else that's watching or wanting to, take up the game of golf. It's how do you lend a helping hand, essentially.
Last two for you, Collin. On the subject of coincidences.
Sorry, she's giving you one.
Okay,
Sorry.
one. I'm going to stick to food then, because I know you're a foodie. I was going to ask about Harding Park, but that doesn't matter here. It's about food. So you have described yourself as a foodie in a lot of interviews I've heard. So I'm curious if there's a meal you are waiting to eat that you don't eat during the season, like for a nutritionist, sake, whatever.
Not at all. No. I'll eat it. I'll eat it today. I'll eat it on a Saturday night before a tournament.
Then what is it? What's the, like, this is my muse. Like, what is your meal? Your go-to?
I think my favorite is like when we go to Japan. Japan's one of my favorite countries I've ever been to, and I love going back. It has, to me, the best cuisine in the world, and not just sushi, but they've got, all the noodles and everything else. So when we play there in October, I believe, it's like I'm in heaven. I'm literally in food heaven. So that's
awesome. You're gonna need it when the Astros beat the Dodgers in the World Series. So I'm glad you'll have that going on for you.
Chill.
Appreciate the time.